Hey there, my friend wanted to hop in here and make this video about a topic that is really important to your business and really something that comes up a lot in terms of what potential clients and clients ask me a lot, and just people in general, entrepreneurs and business owners in general, have this idea that if they charge too high, nobody will buy their thing. So this topic is about how much should you charge? Really important topic. So keep in mind, there's this idea that if you charge too high, nobody will buy it. There's also this idea floating around out there that if you charge as lower than anybody else, that it'll be a no-brainer for people to buy your thing. What I'd venture to point out to you is that it is freaking lazy to charge the lowest on the market. It is lazy of you because you're expecting them, you're not creating any extra value for the person on the other end of the screen. A lot of business is e-commerce these days. The only business that we work on is e-commerce. So the other end of the screen, you're expecting them to make a decision, right? If you're marketing anything, you're expecting them to make a decision, or even in person, like whatever. And if you're expecting that decision to be based only off of price, then you're being lazy because you're not adding any extra value to the equation on your end. You don't have to deeply understand your ideal client or customer because you're just like, well, they're gonna wanna save money, so they're gonna buy our thing. It's freaking lazy. You're not adding an exorbitant amount of value like you could, or maybe you are, but it's not perceived. That's the really important thing. A couple important things, but number one, the value that is perceived is the value that is received. Keep that in mind. I've actually never said that before. This is really important though. The value that the person on the other end of the purchase, let's say you're selling anything online or in a store or whatever value they perceive is the value they receive. And you're in business to affect someone's life in a positive way, right? So don't you want them to have a positive experience walking out of the purchase of your thing? And every time they wear it or use it or drink it or whatever, or interact with the service, don't you want them to feel like it's a premium service, a premium product, a premium thing? You do, of course. And so here's the dilemma is, right, as we deliver products and services, we think of just the transaction as being the thing. Like from our perspective, we see it one way. But what's actually happening on the other end, every time you've bought anything, you know this, is that somebody is not buying the thing. They don't want your item or your service. They don't want that. They want the result. They want how it makes them feel, how it changes their life, how it makes them feel throughout that changed life. However that is. If it's a pair of yoga pants, if it's a cup of coffee, if it's whatever. We buy things because of how it affects our life thereafter. And I know that sounds so obvious. But the breakthrough here is that if you're charging too little, they perceive less value. Okay, so that's one piece. I think I've beat that dead horse. The next piece is, sometimes people say, well, Joe, isn't it unethical to charge too much? Isn't it unethical to charge 50% more and just have a 1% give back model built in and call that okay? Or twice as much, 100% more, and just have a 1% give back model? How is that ethical? You're not giving all that money back. You're just raking in profits. You're just one of the bad corporate banks or whatever, there's this perception that we don't want to be like those capitalist pigs. I hear you. I get it. And honestly, I didn't want to get into digital marketing years ago because of that same exact perception. I had a freaking huge resistance to it till I realized that digital marketing is just a tool and we can use it to spread goodness and amazing stuff through the world, number one. And number two, I realized that marketing, if it's a company that is rooted in its values and it has a really good give back model of whatever kind, and it's centered in what really matters, and there's ethics to the whole thing, and it actually creates a good value to the world, then marketing that thing is like raising a picket sign, but multiplied by 1,000,000, right? So if you're able to run a good, profitable Facebook ad, meaning you put $1 in and you get $2 out on the Facebook ad, and you're running videos for brand awareness for an amazing cause and an ethical company that is rooted in values that makes a massive impact on the world, if you're pricing yourself high enough so that you're able to create that transaction in perpetuity, because you could run Facebook ads or Instagram ads or YouTube ads or Google ads or whatever to attract an infinite amount of customers and generate an infinite amount of revenue and therefore give an infinite amount of money or donation or whatever back, then you're doing so much good for the world, and every piece of marketing, even if they don't buy, was a blessing to everybody that came across it. Every video, every piece of text, every meme you put out there, everything, every person that landed on your landing page should come away inspired. If your company is rooted in the right values and you have the right agency or marketing people telling your story and putting your magic onto the screen, then every single person you ever interact is blessed and highly favored, as my friend Les Brown would say. Never met him, but I wish he was my friend. They're blessed because they interacted with your brand. So that extra 50%, 100% margin, whatever you're charging, as long as it's all going to like ethical growing the business things, because your business is purpose-centered and impact-driven, it's all good. It's all good, no harm, no foul. Of course, assuming that somebody on the other end sees enough value that they want to make the purchase. So the final piece that's really important is, of course, add as much value as you freaking can. So don't price yourself to the bottom of the market. Make sure you charge enough so that you can reinvest in marketing to tell your story an infinite number of times and therefore attract an infinite number of customers. And number 3 is make sure that there's a ridiculous amount of value perceived and received on the other side for the customer. So think about ways that you could do that without changing your product or service entirely. What are the couple of little tweaks you can make because you deeply understand your ideal customer? Send an email to your list and ask them, why do you love our product? Why do you like our product? What do you not like about our product? Like, what is it that, and be humble about it. Be like, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I'm really looking to improve this stuff for you and for the world. What is it that we could do better? Take that feedback, and whether it's like improved customer service, or is it like a refund policy, or maybe it's a warranty, an extended warranty. Maybe you're in a product business and you want to make your customers feel like Zappos shoes makes people feel, where if they spend any money on the brand, they know for a fact that they're going to feel great about it. That's why Amazon bought Zappos shoes for $1 billion or more, because everybody who ever gives Zappos shoes money comes away feeling like $1 million, because either the shoes are awesome quality, they get a great pair of shoes, or they call a super friendly, amazing customer service representative that will stay on the phone with them an infinite amount of time. And there's a guaranteed refund policy. So like, no matter what, I'm good. You know what that does to your conversion rate too? When your customers feel incredible about spending money with you and they have no hinge, no doubt, no skepticism, no hesitation, because they know that like all of these testimonials say that the customer service is awesome, and like, you know, there's a refund policy. So like, there's no risk. You reduce all the risk. So that's one way to add way more value. Another way might be, you know, some kind of subscription model where you give people more than just the thing. Maybe you give them a newsletter with valuable stuff, or access to a Facebook group where they can connect with other people who bought your thing. Or, you know, there's a zillion ways that you can add extra value. Another one is actually building an information product around whatever it is that the transformation that you are currently selling. And no matter whether it's a service or a product, you're selling a transformation. So you could build an information product and include the online course with every purchase, or as a small upsell, or whatever it is. Maybe that doesn't fit for your business, but I just want to get your mind thinking about how to add more value and quit thinking like a race to the bottom freaking rat. Like, it's lazy, it's stupid, it's shitty for your brand, and I beg you not to do that. So here's an exercise for you. Look in the marketplace today. If everybody that's a competitor or a similar product to yours, and like kind of take 5 to 10 examples and write them out. Write them out on a piece of paper and plot them. So who's the cheapest, who's the most expensive, where's the middle? Find that middle line, the median you would call it, find the median, and don't let yourself charge less than it. So then once you're at that median, say if I'm gonna charge here at 50% or 60% or 70%, you know, of the whole quartile range or whatever that's called. It's been a while since 9th grade statistics class, but of the whole range, you want to be at 50, 60, maybe 70, or if you have the balls, go to 100, but make sure that you're charging what you're worth for the value that you deliver so that your customers can feel better about it. You can invest in marketing to acquire way more customers, and you could freaking change the world instead of trying to just survive at this low level. There's a lot of people that need to hear this message. And so if you have any questions about how to know what to charge, if you have any questions about how to market your thing, if you have any questions about anything I just talked about, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to geek out on you about this, because whatever it is that you're doing for the world, following your purpose, creating an impact-driven business, the business that you've been running for 10, 15, 20 years, whatever your story is, the world needs to know about it, and it needs to be marketed and positioned appropriately, or nobody will give a shit. Because The only way they give a shit, they get to know you is how your thing is marketed and perceived. You can have the best thing in the world, but if you sell it like dirt, people think it's dirt. And that's just the reality we live in. I love you, my friend. I hope that helps. Reach out to me with questions and share this video if you found it helpful, because I know that somebody else out there needs it. Take care, my friend.